Welcome back to another episode of Sports Unlimited, where we dive deep into the exhilarating world of sports. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the NBA Finals. I'm going to give you my full rundown on both teams, their keys to winning the trophy, of course, players to watch, and a bunch of other little things. So, prepare for an episode packed with insight, speculation, and excitement. This is Sports Unlimited, and I'm thrilled to have you on board. So let's jump right in. Thank you, Panda. So, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks have made, honestly, one of the quickest finals that I've seen in my lifetime. Okay? They were so eager to get to the NBA Finals on June 6th that they swept everybody. All right? The Celtics, the NBA, who's the NBA's current top team, and were all season, truly dominated the Eastern Conference and not only secured home court advantage to the playoffs, but they did it in a very dominant way. But the Mavericks aren't far. They finished with a 50-32 record, which could tie for second in the East, but placed them fifth in the West. So it just shows the caliber of strength that the Mavericks were facing. Okay, Dallas path to the finals were hard. They had to go past the Clippers, the Thunders, the Timberwolves, all potential, caliber teams that could take down the Celtics. Okay, but each series was impressive. They got better and better every single time. All right. In contrast, Boston really had a very easy path. Okay. Yes, they lost one game with the Heat and one game with the Cavaliers, which, again, everybody started freaking out saying Jason Tatum this and Brown this and all blah, blah, blah. But the Celtics won both of the regular season matchups against the Mavericks. All right. The first one on January 22nd, 119-110, and then on March 1st, 138-110. See? Something's happening here. But what's really important here is that this marks Boston's 23rd final appearance. While Dallas is making its third, which is the first time in 13 years since they won the championship back in 2011, where Coach Jason Kidd also won his trophy as there. Where I think they beat 2011, if I recall correctly, was the LeBron, Bosh, all them, that super team that they had there and everything. So, very great. So let us go ahead and get started with, some things to watch. Thank you, Panda. So, yes, players to watch. Now, this is going to be kind of short because there's not a lot of players to watch, but I'm only going to focus on two of them. The two, personally, what I think are the most important. Okay? Number one is Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. So, he won the MVP in the Eastern Conference Finals, all right, which was very, very well deserved, okay? He expressed genuinely saying, I wasn't expecting it at all. Brown's, just his whole demeanor, everything that he's done, it was worth was the reason why they had that victory in Game 4 and why he deserved it. I mean, he even went and said, I never win shit. So, it's impressive. He's an 8-year veteran, and, his performance was just, in this postseason, has been amazing. He has averaged 25 points on 54.1% shooting, 6.1 rebounds, 2.6 assists, and 1.1 steals per game through the first 3 rounds of the playoffs. Highlights include a game-tying three-pointer in Game 1 against Indiana, and a 40-point performance in Game 2. I mean, come on. Let's go. Now, this will be his first finals appearance. No, he won't. This won't be his first finals appearance. I'm sorry, but he will be his first in 2 years. But Brown averaged 23.5 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 3.7 assists in Celtics' 6-game loss to the Golden State Warriors. Arguably, he was the reason they even made it to Game 6. And with this improvement, he went from 23.5 points a game to 25 points. Sure, his rebounds and assists dropped, but the points increased for a reason. But they didn't drop much. 7.3 to 6.1 and 3.7 to 2.6. That's not a bad difference. And he's being more careful on where and who he passes it to, who he assists, when he rebounds. He makes sure that he can get everything. He's literally the reason why, and again, highlighting the game-time three-pointer in Game 1 against Indiana. Had he not made that three-pointer, maybe this whole series is different. Maybe Indiana is playing against the Mavericks. We don't know. But what I'm trying to get at is, although we talked a lot about Jason Tatum, and he is very important to the Celtics, the true winner here, the true importance of the Celtics is Brown, Jaylen Brown. All right? He is master of none, winner of everything. The Mavericks will need to shut him down. I feel like if they shut him down, Jason Tatum will not be able to open up as much. So I got a feeling it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, I got to talk about Kyrie Irving for the Mavericks. Yeah, y'all thought I was going to be Donovan, right? No, I actually feel like we really need to look at Kyrie Irving. He's truly changed his concept or his belief on his career, his script on his career. All right? Irving, Irving has always been in the shadow of LeBron James. But now, he's going to face a task that it's going to be quite difficult for him. Is he going to be able to stop the Celtics for raising their 18th championship banner in that arena? All right? This would be his first NBA Finals appearance in 7 years. But that does mean he's not proven to be the ideal fit alongside Doncic, which I think we all agree he has. Nope. I have not seen this kind of partnership since he was with LeBron James. And that's saying something. But let's look at the numbers for Kyrie Irving. In Game 5 against Minnesota, he had a 48.2% shooting mark from the field, which is the highest in his playoff career, a 42.3 success rate beyond the arc, okay, which is close to what he had with the Cavs when they won the championship. So it's really interesting to see that he's actually gotten better from his old times. Now, Irving will also be playing in the most playoff games with the Mavericks of 22, and he did during his combined stint with the Celtics and Brooklyn Nets. In other words, if you combine the Celtics, the Nets, and the Mavericks, he had 22 playoff games. He wants this. He needs this. His shooting is amazing. He knows he's complimenting Doncic in every possible way. How can you not sit there and say, yeah, he's the one to watch? He gets hurt, Doncic is the only person that they have to worry about. Jaylen Brown gets hurt, Jason Tatum is the only one they have to worry about. But when they're all there, it's going to be interesting. But Panda, take us to our next thing. So, thank you, Panda. This one is going to be interesting because I saw this a lot through many articles that I read and looking at all the statistics. But apparently, the battle of the backcourt is actually going to be interesting. So, some people have said that in this postseason, that Luka and Kyrie arguably have the most potent offense in backcourt in NBA history. The numbers truly back that up. But when you look at it against the Boston starting guards, something's changed. Jrue Holiday and Derek White, both all defensive second team honorees, have built their reputation by making life difficult for opposing defenses. And we saw that in the finals this year. No, they're quite disruptive. They stick to their man. And more importantly, that would be one of their biggest that would be one of the biggest challenges for Doncic, especially when it comes to late clock decision. And Kyrie Irving's highly worthy finishes. Okay? Can they hold him down? On the other side, though, Irving has shown an increase in defensive effort this spring, which is great. I said this before. I never liked his defense. His defense sucked, but he's truly picked it up towards the end of the season into the playoffs. Now, Doncic is usually a defensive position, as a way to kind of, calm down, let others kind of do it. Let me do all my work on the offense. Still, he does a pretty good job defensively. But let's look at the numbers. Okay, Doncic and Kyrie Irving in their 2 regular season matchups combined for 112 points, accounting for 51% of Dallas' output, which in contrast, Holiday and White managed only 47 points. However, Boston's other players outscored Dallas' supporting cast 210 to 108. Meaning that although Kyrie Irving and Luka do make a backcourt monster, it really doesn't have the depth that they need to do a long playoff. And as we know for example, with the Spurs and their championships, the Lakers and their championships, even when the Celtics, depth is very important. You rest your starters a little bit, let them back out. Rest them a little bit, let them back out. Rest them a little bit, let them back out. Or, in the case of the Spurs, hey, boom. The bench is going to take over and still win us the game. And now we can rest our starters. So, although I would agree that Luka and Kyrie are very potent offensively, defensively, Jrue Holiday and Derek White are the winners here. So, it's going to be interesting. And even with that depth, it's going to be even more interesting. So, let's go to the next thing. Yes, Panda, that's a very good question. Is this the Celtics' year? Finally. Let's talk about it. So, the Celtics have been consistently a winning team, a championship caliber team for a very long time. They've reached the Eastern Conference Finals 6 times in 8 years. Though they won more playoff games during this period than in any other team. No, Jason Tatum has been just great and has led the league in games played, minutes, and points scored over the last 7 postseasons. And by the end of the finals, he's likely to be in the top 5 for rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. So arguably you can say, well, they should have won at least 1 championship already, 2, but they haven't. They've yet to secure a title. So again, is this finally the year that they win banner number 18? Well, let's talk about it. Like I said, Boston has had a relatively smooth playoff run. They really play teams that they were better. There is no reason for anyone to say that the the Celtics were not better than every other single team that they faced. Also, some of those teams were injured as well. But the Mavericks, this is a completely different duo. Okay? The explosiveness of the backcourt that we just talked about of Luka and Kyrie is making things go. Plus, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I thought Luka should have been the MVP and is arguably the best player in this series, with complimentary to Kyrie. Interesting, right? Well, the Celtics, though, have great depth, versatility, teams, connection, there's still questions. No, they have players like Jairo Holiday, top defense. No, even Donick was praising him for his defensive prowess. Derek White again is another solid option against Kyrie Irving or even Luka. On top of that, you know, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum can be moved around in a way that can be more effective to beat the Mavericks. But is it going to be enough? Plus, you have Kristaps Porzingis, who is expected to be back here in this, who now plays in the rotation and can fill in the three-point threats, should be able to, do something against this Mavericks. No, they're a formidable challenge for Dallas, but Dallas does have an improved defense. So the question again is this the Celtics' year? Well, the simple answer is yes. By all accounts, this is their year. But will that actually come true at the end of the season, at the end of the series? Well, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But speaking of Porzingis, how is he going to affect the outcome of the games? Because again, he fills in he's a 3-point threat. He's part of Boston's 8-player rotation. More breaks for Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Okay, so Porzingis should be back now after he left in the first round against Miami with the right calf strain. Okay, we knew that he wasn't going to return for the Cleveland or even for the Eastern Conference Finals, and especially because it ended too quickly for him to come back. So they're just like, screw it, no, you're going to wait till the finals. But I think that was smart because, well, they need him against Dallas. The Celtics also have Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively II, who are both rim runners. They're great. They catch lobs from Luka Doncic. Derek Jones Jr., PJ Washington also have increased their production in the postseason, but it's still not the same thing that Porzingis has with the Celtics. Okay, yes, they all pose a challenge to Boston, but Porzingis just adds an extra thing to it. The 7'2", 240 center averaged 20 points and 2 blocks per game. Which doesn't seem like a huge benefit to the Celtics, but it actually is. Especially now, it would benefit them greatly. 2 points can mean almost 6 points. If the right people get the rebounds. A 6-point lead may not seem like a lot, but it is. His scoring ability adds depth for Joe Mazzulla's rotation. He's literally the most essential piece that they've been missing in this postseason for 5 weeks. And to say that, to me, they probably would have been more dominant in this playoff series had Porzingis actually been healthy. But to say that he um, he's not as good, I mean, they're still as good with him off as with him in the court. Well, 20 points is a lot. 2 blocks could mean the difference between a 1-point game and a 3-point game. And they can do an N1. Depending on how they decide to do it. Or how it goes about it. So Porzingis' effect is very much important to the domination that the Celtics want to have on Dallas. On the Dallas Mavericks. But do not get this twisted. Dino Gurov, Derek Lively II, Luka Doncic, Derek Jones Jr., PJ Walker, Kyrie Irving. They are all looking for Porzingis. They are all looking for Tatum. They are all looking for Brown. We'll see how this happens. But Porzingis is going to have a great effect on the Celtics court, for sure. And on their rotation. Take us to our next thing, Panda. So, before we get into the real knee-deep of the keys for each team, I want to highlight one thing from each team that I think that we should all keep an eye on. For the Celtics, it's their 3-point attempts and made. Okay? Through the season, Boston has led the league in 3-pointers attempted and made, shooting them at the second highest percentage. This strategy has been successful in the playoffs, where they average 14.6 makes and 39.8 attempts per game, both which are league highs. Okay, hitting 14 or more 3-pointers in a game this postseason. When they do that, they are undefeated. They're 9-0, and have attempted 40 or more threes in half of their playoff games. When you look at that in the Mavericks side, they've been solid and outstanding beyond the arc, but not to the level of the Celtics. They average 12.4 makes and 33.7 attempts, per game, and have a 6-1 record when making 14 or more 3-pointers. However, they've only attempted 43 once in their 16 playoff games. In other words, if the Celtics get hot from the arc and start shooting 3-pointers, this could be a very, very short series for the Mavericks. But if the Mavericks want to get hot too, it could be interesting for the Celtics. Now, for the Mavericks, you have to look at the fact that Kyrie Irving and Porzingis, but mainly Kyrie Irving, is phasing his former team. Porzingis used to play for Dallas, Kyrie Irving used to play for the Celtics. And his time with the Celtics was emotional. Let's just say that. He did great, in his time with the Celtics. He had 2 All-Star selections. The team was just not where they needed to be. And really, Boston's fans they just don't like Kyrie. Okay, let's just put it that way. And all this really, really took off when the Celtics stomped midcourt on the midcourt logo during the 2021 playoff game, prompting a fan to throw a water bottle at Kyrie Irving. Okay, so yeah, he was enticing it. I'm not going to deny it. But ever since he's been with Dallas, he's been a model teammate. He avoids the drama on and off the court. He's just focusing on his game, which, as we talked about earlier, has improved. But that's not the version of Kyrie that Boston fans will remember. So the question is, the statement here of what to watch is, which version of Kyrie Irving will we get against the Celtics? Will we get the same one that stomped on the logo midcourt in 2021, or the model teammate we've seen in Dallas? Because that could make a difference between a 4-game sweep or a Game 7. Something to watch. Yes, the keys for each team. Finally, the final 2 cents of the show. The keys for each team to win and host the trophy. Starting with the Celtics, of course. The Celtics are finally there. Perhaps they have, arguably I should say, have the best offense in the NBA, even the best defense in the NBA. But Doncic and Kyrie have the potential to be final MVPs on their own ball skills, while Jrue Holiday and White have earned spots on the all-defensive team, but offensively they're not the best. So when you're looking at this in a skill point of view, it's pretty much neck and neck. However, though, there is some adjustment that has to be done. Doncic and Kyrie Irving do need to be more skilled and continuously face the same defenders without strategic adjustment, as we saw in their series against Minnesota. Additionally, forward Jaylen Brown spent the most time defending Doncic during the regular season. Okay, we must expect the wings to guard them. We must expect the outside of the Mavericks' primary ball handler to guard the primary ball handlers through switches and cross matches. No, on top of that, like I said again, the health of Porzingis, who has been out since the first round of the playoffs with the calf strain, is one of the most important things for the Celtics. He has 2 rounds to heal, so he should be good. But if he's not there, who knows what could happen? There's also valid concern about how rusty Porzingis might be. No, his history shows that he's been efficient after missing a week or more over the past 3 seasons. He shot 50% or better in his 6 returns from absence. Plus, his defensive ability will be just as important, especially for a Boston team lacking a strong rim protector. With him gone, Indiana was able to shoot 74% at the rim in the first 3 games in the conference finals, which concerned Boston in the series and could have extended the series. On top of that, the Celtics did hold a league worst 35.2% corner threes during the regular season and have been better in the playoffs, limiting teams to an NBA low 23.5%. Conversely, Dallas, fueled by Doncic's passing, took more corner threes than any other team during the season with 924 attempts. The Mavericks have capitalized on these shots in the playoffs, making 40.4% of their corner threes, but with Doncic leading the league in 312 passes, resulting in three corner attempts during the regular season, 71 more than the next closest player. In other words, if Porzingis is missing, he is the key at this point in time to stop Luka Doncic at the rim and from the 3, while also bringing a higher shot percentage for the Celtics on offense. if Porzingis is healthy. If he's not healthy, Jaylen Brown will have to step up and be able to block Luka without allowing Kyrie to get hot. And they're gonna have to make a choice. Do we defend one, let the other one get hot, or vice versa? But if Porzingis is there, I believe Jaylen Brown will stick to Luka like a freaking fat kid on a cupcake, while Porzingis defends Kyrie Irving, allowing everybody else to open up and truly make a difference. So it's going to be interesting how they are. But to me, the main key for the Celtics is Porzingis. Don't get it twisted, though. The Celtics, even without him, are a great team. And Jaylen Brown is another important key. But to me, Porzingis seems to be, based on everything I've seen, the most important key for the Celtics. Now for the Mavericks. Look, Luka is one of the most standout players in the Mavericks and could be the reason why they win the series. Historically, since 1997, the team with the finals leader in wins above replacement players, or WARP, metric has a 20-7 record. If that leader is at least has at least a 0.5 WARP record ahead of the next best player in the series, their teams improved to 13-1. The Celtics have the defenders to curb Donic's impact, including Jaylen Brown, like we talked about, who's defended him even in the regular season. But they also have White and Porzingis if he's healthy. But we do not forget that several Mavericks players are actually quite pivotal, to their success. Jaden Hardy, Maxi Kleber, just to say a few. Especially to me, Maxi Kleber, who could potentially, mind you, I'm kind of stretching it here could be crucial with countering Porzingis' pick and pop 3-point shooting. Like, I'm not 100% sold that he could be the counter, but damn well shoot, he ain't gonna hurt. And when you look back at the second round, when Dallas allowed Chet Holmgren those shots, when their centers had to defend him, see the difference? Porzingis, who averages 6.2 3-pointer attempts per 36 minutes at a 37.5% rate, could force Dallas to pull their big man out of the paint, which again could cause a reduction in their defensive effectiveness and, well, just a dysfunctionality. This situation could give Kleber, Dallas' most mobile big man, a chance to shine. He already returned from his shoulder injury in Game 4 against Minnesota and was great. What I'm trying to get at is Luka is an important piece. Kyrie Irving is another important piece. But the accompanied players of Dallas are going to have a chance to shine in a way that we have not seen them shine before. Again, we saw what Chet Holmgren did in the playoffs, in the second round. And had he been hotter, they probably would have lost. So Maxi Kleber is going to be one of the most important keys to Dallas to stop Porzingis if he's there, so that they can stop Porzingis and not lose the defensive effectiveness that they're going to need to stop Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. On top of that, not only are they going to need to do that, but Luka is going to have to be really good in his long-range performance, which at best has been hit or miss in the postseason. He hasn't shot between 37% and 45% in any of the playoff games. When he exceeded 37%, Dallas went 5-0. Which games did he do that? Minnesota and Oklahoma. However, with Luka dealing with the hamstring soreness, he shot no better than 36% in any of the 6 games against the Clippers in the opening round. So when his 3-point shooting dipped below his regular season average of 38%, Dallas was 6-5. In other words, they need to get Luka open and let him fly. Let him cook. They need to tell Kleber, focus on Porzingis, and stick to him like a fat kid on a cupcake. In Kyrie, you just do Kyrie things. But letting Luka cook at the 3-pointers and let Kleber worry about Porzingis, those are the 2 major keys for Dallas. And I'm going to add one more. If we see the Kyrie Irving of old, the same one in 2021, he chose to stomp in the center logo, Dallas is going to have a bad time this postseason. But if we have the the model teammate that we've seen so far, Kyrie, it's going to be an interesting postseason. So, Kleber taking on Porzingis to allow defensive effectiveness. Doncic getting hot in the 3-pointers to shoot at least 37%. And Kyrie staying away from drama and just playing the game that he knows best. But Panda, take us to the next thing. So, the finals finally approaches. The stage is set. We're all excited for Boston and Mavericks. Now, the Celtics have depth and experience, and they're well equipped to potentially secure their 18th championship. But don't count Dallas out by any means. With Luka, Kyrie Irving as one of the more formidable teammates in the current NBA, the Celtics have their hands full. But so do the Mavericks. Of course, basketball fans worldwide are excited for this, and it's going to be a thrilling, high-stakes series. And I just can't freaking wait to watch it. I mean, in the end, I firmly believe that they're going to go to Game 7. I don't see them sweeping anyone. But we've seen weirder things. I mean, take you back to 2013 when the Spurs took the lead from the Heat, and then the Heat, I don't remember his name, but he shot a 3 and tied it up. They won the championship that year. The next year, everyone thought, well, they face the Spurs again. It's going to be another interesting one. And the Spurs swept them. 2011, the super team, the Heat super team. What? No, against the Mavericks, they were favored. The Mavericks won. I mean, there's just so many things that could happen in this finals, and it's going to be exciting to see. So, my 2 cents, Dallas in 7, but we'll have to wait and see. So, Panda, take us to our last thing. that's all the time that we have, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed my take in the NBA Finals. Like I said before, it's going to be interesting. It's a thrilling, high-stakes series with outcomes that could, we could sit here all day and talk about them. But at the end of the day, they're going to play, we're going to watch, and we're going to love it. But thank you for joining us on this journey of speculation, analysis, and excitement. As always, guys, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. As always, your feedback is invaluable as we continue to bring you the latest and greatest in sports. As always, guys, this is Hershey signing off from Sports Unlimited. Until next time, sports fans, stay passionate and see you next time.